Yo, what's up guys, it's Jack, and I gotta say, as if I couldn't get any more hyped, yeah, I am even more hyped than I was in the last video that I literally just posted not too long ago, right? So, earlier today I posted a video talking about my hype and the potential of Black Ops 4, right? And then on Twitter, for those of you guys that follow me on Twitter, I was basically talking about how I really am in the mood for one of those, you know, blueberry pies that are no sugar added, you know. So I was like, you know what? Finally, I gave in. So I go to my local grocery store that's really close to my house. I pick up one of those suckers. It's absolutely fucking epic. It's a blueberry, no sugar added pie. I got some whipped cream and everything like that, right? I come back home, and what do I see on Twitter? What do I see? Treyarch posts another loading screen of yet another map. But wait a minute, this is different, because I briefly thought about this before, but it was, you know, it was one of those moments to where it's like, they might do that, but it's just like one of those things that just escaped my mind. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older at 34 or whatnot, and maybe the brain doesn't work exactly like it used to be, but my goodness, this is something huge, because apparently, according to this new map reveal, which we haven't seen before, it's a part of the Blackout map, and they've made it into its own little piece or whatnot, and they're putting it in the traditional multiplayer. So what does this tell me that I briefly thought about previously that I never made a video on or even touched up on? Well, it tells me that I think we're gonna get a hell of a lot more maps than we anticipated. Like, I'm not necessarily expecting a crazy number, but I guess I'm expecting maybe another 2, maybe 3 maps that we haven't seen before. Now, I know that I'm being very hyped, and maybe my excitement from the pie might be playing a little bit of a role. There might be no doubt about that, but hey, hear me out for a second. Doesn't that seem pretty logical? Now, you guys, a majority of you guys know the Blackout map better than I do, because most of you guys probably enjoyed Blackout a hell of a lot more than I did, because I'm a multiplayer guy, and Blackout just didn't really do it that much for me. But even though I recognize the old school maps that are in the game or whatnot, there's a lot of whole other parts of the map in Blackout that could be a potential multiplayer map, and we literally just got one released today on Twitter. It's called Militia, and it's a part of the Blackout map, and it looks really good. It looks really solid. It looks like a fairly balanced map. It's going to be just as open. It's going to be fairly open, but at the same time, there's going to be some stuff to where you can go into so you can take your rushing route safely. Looks like a balanced map to me, but even though we haven't seen all of it literally, but it seems like it's got potential. Okay, yes, I am also partially hyped because I'm really enthusiastic about maps, because you guys know how important maps are in the Call of Duty series, as well as the fact that, well, if they're good maps, and on top of that they give us variety, I mean, how can you not be hyped? Especially with World War II, since we were really underwhelmed with the lack of maps, so to speak, and now that we're getting a whole bunch, and then we got Blackout on top of that, and I mean, how many more maps are we gonna get now? Since you guys know the maps better than I do, I'm sure you guys can break it down. You can say, you know, this part of the map can be a potential map, this could be a potential map. So that's something that you guys could always tell me down in the comment section. You guys can dissect and have fun with it, because I personally find this very, very exciting, and at this rate, just like I mentioned previously, I think in yesterday's video, I think at this rate they're going to be doing, like, maybe for the rest of the week, they're probably going to reveal like 2 maps at a time before the release, and so far they're continuing that pattern. So at this rate, my goodness, I'm really looking forward to seeing what in the world they're going to reveal next. And I was completely, for someone who's enthusiastic about maps at this point the way I was very blown away, and I'm like, I knew it, and I should have mentioned it in a previous video, because it's something that I very briefly thought about, but damn, I guess my ass is getting old. But yeah, I know I'm on a partial sugar high from the pie and everything, and I might be a little bit more ecstatic, but my gosh, you know, when you miss a year of Call of Duty because World War II wasn't that exciting to you, and you hardly ever played it, and it was lacking in so many ways, and then all of a sudden you get this, and then you're a week away from release, and been looking forward to it for a while. It's one of the things out of the year that you look forward to. I mean, my goodness, yeah, I know, I'm a geek, but hey, judge me if you want, I don't care. And yeah, I wanted to basically make this video to kind of obviously talk about it, express my excitement, And at the same time, I figured it would make for interesting content because I'm a little bit on a sugar high, so it might make me a slightly better commentator in terms of an entertainment point of view. I don't know, maybe. If that's the case, then let me know down in the comment section. And yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to welcome type 2 diabetes in my life. No, I'm just kidding. But I can naturally get hyped like this without any sugar whatsoever. It just so happens that I just had some pie because I was in the mood for some pie. So. And lo and behold, we get all this, and it's exciting. So let me know down in the comment section, what do you guys think? How many more maps do you think potentially that we could get? Because I remember when I briefly played Blackout, and what I mean briefly is I played maybe 4 or 5 hours of it. I remember there was where was it? There was the train tracks, if I remember correctly, and a few more other places. I mean, seriously, there could be potentially at least 4 or 5 other maps that could be converted in traditional multiplayer. Do I think it's going to be up to 4 or 5 more? No, but at the same time, I do have a reason to even doubt that. Like, even to doubt my doubts, if that makes any sense. Because, seriously, like, they could, I mean, we got like I said in the previous video as well, we got a beefy beta, so therefore we could have a beefy game, and especially with the omission of campaign, yeah. And especially, it makes sense now too. It's like, okay, they've put all this effort into Blackout, but it's like, hey, I mean, multiplayer doesn't have to suffer because some of those Blackout parts could be made into traditional multiplayer maps, and they definitely showed and proved that today. So I'm expecting, I'd say, like I said, about 2, excuse me, the sugar cough, so to speak. I'm expecting 2, maybe 3 more multiplayer maps from the Blackout beta alone, changed into cut up into multiplayer size maps and put into the game. And I certainly am not opposed to that. I certainly am not opposed to that whatsoever. So yeah, what do you guys think of this? And does it bother you at all that it's a part of the Blackout maps that's being cut up and put into multiplayer? I want you guys to let me know, because I know that some people are very, very specific about their maps, very specific about their taste of their maps, and even down to the skin of the map. And what I mean by that is, like, by the art style of the map and the colors and how it looks. Now, obviously, Treyarch makes colorful games in comparison to, like, let's say, the previous games that we've had before from Infinity Warding. Infinite Warfare was good in terms of the color, but in terms of what we got in Modern Warfare 3 with Ghosts and with even in World War II, even though World War II wasn't terribly bad in terms of colors, what we used to get in the past was, you know, I mean, everything is, I mean, everything just plays a role in the maps according to a lot of fans of the series. For me personally, yes, the color, so I could differentiate the enemies from the surroundings of the map. That's important, but another thing that I personally am, that makes and breaks a map for me is obviously the size. It can't be too big and it can't be too small. Good medium-sized map is good, and also the what's it called? The 3-lane structure and how they're built. They can't be catering to any certain playstyle too much. They have to be balanced. So, but from the brief little video snip tip preview or whatever it was from the new map Militia that was just revealed that I saw, it looks pretty damn well balanced, and I'm excited about it. And that's basically that reveal just now literally is telling us, at least to me, is that they're literally taking parts of Blackout, the little pieces of Blackout maps, and they're gonna put them in the traditional multiplayer. So because we're getting a whole bunch of remade maps, or we're also getting a bunch of maps from the past that are in the Blackout. So maybe all those new pieces are going to be in the traditional multiplayer, and we could have a good amount of multiplayer maps. And as of right now, nobody knows. As of right now, as I'm recording this, nobody knows the final number of maps. And who knows? We might even have 17 according to those leaks that we got way back when. It might be a 17 of total maps. Maybe those are the only parts of the leak that were correct. We might have a total count of 17, or God knows, maybe even more. I'm all about it. And yeah, let all thoughts and comments be known down in the comment section. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.